6 to 10 sample requests going out each entire week, and then converting those would be anywhere from 2 to 3, which was great.
Appreciate you jumping on and agreeing to this, Christian. So we have Christian here, Christian Parks from Fat and Beard Cookies. He's the president of sales. Christian, really nice to have you here.
Hey, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So before we start the interview, do you mind talking a little bit about your role at the company and also, tell us a little bit more about Fat and Beard Cookies?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the head of sales for Fat and Weird, I'm strictly handling a sales team that's doing any sort of outbound emails, outbound calls, as well as myself. I handle a lot of the distribution side, distribution contact, head of retail, that kind of business. So more of that forward facing within the customer market, things like that. And then with Fat and Weird specifically, Fat and Weird has been around since 2018. We were purely an e-commerce business, so direct to consumer. We were doing a fun sellout model, so where we would make anywhere from 2 to 3,000 cookies, and we sell out in minutes, and it was great. And then obviously through COVID, we grew even more, and the founder decided he wanted to pivot into wholesale. That's kind of my background, and so we were able to start growing the wholesale side of the business, and that's kind of where your business actually came about, and you've been able to help us grow into our further wholesale business and wholesale reach out.
Right, for sure. And it's very interesting. Many e-commerce brands, direct to consumer brands, they don't focus on wholesale at all. And I think that's partly because there's so many moving parts to it. You have the big box retailers, then you have the boutiques, then sometimes you have to work with brokers to get to like Walmarts and Targets and those big stores. So in the last few months of us working together, what has your experience been with cold outreach?
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing that we've realized is the platform provides quite a few sampling opportunities, great new customer reach out offerings. But I think the biggest thing is we've been able to have a connection with that next customer. So it's whether that be jumping into a full new category, whether it be boutiques or coffee shops or some other that we haven't even talked about, is like hotels. Those have been able to come about just because of a simple cold reach out.
Right. And on average, what were your results like? Like, how many sample requests were you getting every week? How many of those would you actually send samples to after filtering out? And how many would you end up converting into customers?
Typically, I don't quite remember the exact how many we would get per week, but it was a large amount. And the good part is whenever we pass out samples or have the sample requests, we get those out immediately. We've gotten incredible feedback on our product, but the service was great because I always had my staff members always had a full busy day calling customers, emailing customers, and doing that exactly. And with cold reach out, you always have to have that pipeline full. And so it was great to see anywhere from 6 to 10 sample requests going out each entire week, and then converting those would be anywhere from 2 to 3, which was great. And we really appreciated that and the fast growth with you guys.
Awesome. And, overall, and I know it's been a while before we had the initial conversations with you and Adam and others, but before deciding to do this, what were some of your hesitations? Obviously, we didn't know each other, so trust would have been one.
Yeah.
But, what else were you thinking?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just the competitive landscape of it. And I don't, as a business owner or a business partner within Fat and Weird, we get contacted constantly from businesses like yours. And so, yeah, trust was one. Price was definitely another. You're very competitive within pricing. But it was being able to communicate with your staff was a big thing with us initially, because if you don't have a lot of good minded conversations, then the partnership's not going to be able to move forward.
Absolutely. And what finally convinced you to sign the contract, give this a shot?
And this is purely just being transparent. I think the biggest thing was we were missing the what we call low hanging fruit in the industry, and being able to grab that. And we wanted to pick a partner we trusted. We vetted quite a few different. I honestly, I'm thinking about it. Probably anywhere from 15 to 20 people reached out to us that had a similar business, and it was like, cool, let's go with Attachets because of the trust we had with you, and we were all just kind of on board and they're ready to go. And again, you have competitive pricing, so.
For sure. Makes sense. And now other than the results, other than the stuff we already spoke about, what else did you like or not like about the partnership overall? In terms of communication, maybe reporting, maybe something that we haven't spoken about yet.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for maybe a improvement would be probably be the best way to put it would be working together on a refined offering. And what I mean by that is being able to direct your employees to, okay, this is we're going to work together, whether that be a day, whether that be a week, to refine an email or a campaign that's going to better structure for the company. So again, you always have, if a lead comes over, it's 100% vetted. It fits into the category that we're trying to go. So I think in that's not obviously the improvement on just you guys. That's an improvement on the relationship or partnership as a whole. So.
Right. So when you say refine an email, you mean reaching out to a more refined list, right? So making sure all the businesses, like all the sample requests you get, like 90% of them, they're all from businesses that you would love to make sense.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. And final question, if someone's watching this, they run a D2C brand and they're considering outreach, they're considering outbound, maybe they're on the fence. What would you say to them? What would your advice be to them, considering you've been doing this for like close to a year?
Yeah, my biggest thing is get with Addershay's team and have a very structured campaign. Let that run for anywhere from a month to 2 months. See how that's coming in, and then refine and make those changes. Because initially, you don't know you've got a great asset at your hands, and the companies that are coming to you have a great product. So you have to come together and really communicate on what's going to be a good campaign, and lean on Attachay's team. Attachay's team's a great. They've been in the industry. That's the reason why you're possibly hiring them. So that's my biggest advice: is communicate what you would like the offering to be, and make sure you're very transparent so that his team knows how to turn those rocks over correctly.
Appreciate that so much. Thanks so much for taking the time, Christian.